I want to thank our witnesses. I'm going to take my 5 minutes. The CDC has a central role in setting COVID-19 guidelines and deeming itself the arbiter of truth of claims associated with the disease. But common sense dictates that there are far more than 1,691 substantive pages of documents within the agency's possession. Additionally, HHS has redacted names in the documents produced, including the names of CDC personnel, obstructing the committee's efforts to identify key players in the CDC tech censorship regime. On April 28, 2023, the committee subpoenaed the CDC for documents and information related to this coordination and collusion. And as I said, we've received only 1,691 substantive pages. It's wholly incomplete and inadequate. Assistant Secretary Igor, why has the CDC failed to produce all or at least many more responsive documents given the May 22nd deadline in the subpoena?
Congressman, we have produced, as you noted, almost 2,000 pages in response to the letters and subpoena, and we produced additional pages just last week. We continue to be responsive and work in good faith as information moves forward.
Now, the subcommittee compels the production of various additional categories of documents as well. For example, certain documents and communications between or among the CDC and the executive branch of the U.S. government. The subpoena compels the production of documents internal to the CDC as well. Would you not agree that HHS has not produced all documents responsive to the subpoena?
Congressman, we continue to work in good faith to be responsive to your oversight requests. So
Would you agree that thus far you have not been completely responsive?
Congressman, so far we've produced 2,000 pages, and we continue to work in good faith as we work through our process of identifying documents.
Have you produced any documents or communications between or among the CDC and executive branch agencies?
Congressman, I do not have the productions in front of me, so I would like to be able to
I can tell you the exact number, 0. So 0 pages of communications and documents between or among the CDC and executive branch agencies. Can you give us some idea of why you're differentiating between and essentially being selective in in which documents you've decided to produce and which you haven't?
Congressman, we are not being selective. We are working to produce documents in a timely manner, and we've done 4 productions to date, and we will continue to work in good faith to produce additional documents.
I'm just curious, because leaving an entire category of internal documents aside and not producing a single page, you would think we would at least get some recognition that that category of information is important. Do you consider it to be important?
Congressman, I'm not making value judgments of what's more important or less important to the committee, and I'm happy to talk to you about prioritization of documents, but also want to recognize that we have produced 2,000 pages in response to this request and continue to work in good faith and work through our processes to identify documents.
I'm told one of the productions was a total of 61 pages. Does that seem like a drip, drip, drip delay?
So, Congressman, I'm going to say that our team continues to work through our processes, and rather than sit and hold information, continue to produce, as my colleague said, in a rolling basis.
So other categories of the subpoena specifically refer to documents sufficient to show the persons and individuals who are or have been responsible or in any way, or that the CDC has cooperated with, consulted with, or relied on formally or informally in, quote, developing, applying, executing, implementing, or communicating the CDC's policies, views, or concerns relating to the moderation, deletion, suppression, restriction, or reduced circulation of content. But HHS's production thus far has redacted the names and emails of employees and third parties. Can you confirm that you are redacting, and can you confirm that you will produce unredacted copies of these documents?
Congressman, I can confirm that there are redactions within the documents. Redactions exist for many reasons, including personal identifying information. We take the safety of our employees and individuals very seriously. And
as do we. And I'm going to end, I've got 20 seconds left, shifting gears a little bit. We're not going to do a second round, but I want you all to be aware, and I'm going to submit for the record a letter that the Chairman Jordan wrote to Director Wray of the FBI, who we've also had difficulties getting information from, but letting him know that it's not acceptable, that we're done waiting, and that this committee is going to be taking action against him and those who continue to delay and obfuscate and refuse to provide that information. So we look forward to hopefully getting that information from the both of you. We look forward to hopefully not having to take further action to encourage the production of those documents. And with that, the subcommittee stands adjourned.